Worsley is an attractive leafy suburb of Salford, notable for its historical links to coal and the construction of a canal, which it is claimed kick-started canal building in Britain. Its appearance today, however, gives away little of its industrial past. Worsley is also historically linked to Castlefield in Manchester, once the site of a Roman settlement. Castlefield, originally called Mancunium, is now considered to be the birthplace of Manchester. The early cottage industry of spinning and weaving cotton developed through the Middle Ages but accelerated rapidly during the Industrial Revolution, as first water power and then steam power brought about the rapid development of engines and machinery to take manufacturing to an industrial level. The textile industry led the way, but many other industries followed. By the mid-1700s, evidence of the Industrial Revolution was everywhere in the north of England, and the requirement to transport raw materials and manufactured goods was critical to its success. Unfortunately, roads were rudimentary at best, and the development of the railways was in its infancy. Of particular interest to Francis Egerton, the 3rd Duke of Bridgewater, was the transportation of coal from his rich coal seams at Worsley into the centre of Manchester. The Duke owned and administered mines known as the Worsley Levels or the Worsley Underground Canals. The mines are unique and comprise a series of underground canals at different levels which are known to extend for over 40 miles. Special mining barges, also known as starvationers because of their skeletal appearance, were used to transport coal along the underground canals to the mine outlet at Worsley Delph. The barges moved along the canals either by miners legging them or they would be flushed along using surplus floodwater controlled by sluice gates. The two main levels were separated in height by 106 feet, the lower level being connected to the mine outlet at the Delph. In order to get coal from the upper to the lower level, an inclined plane of over 450 feet long and having a gradient of 1 in 4 was excavated. A barge fully loaded with coal would descend the inclined plane on a special cradle and at the same time pull up an empty barge. The rope connecting the barge cradles would be wound around a spindle, possibly of rock, to provide braking. The Duke's plan was to construct a canal from Worsley to Castlefield and use the floodwater from the mines to provide the replenishment for the proposed canal. Engineers James Brindley and John Gilbert were appointed to oversee the work, which resulted in a route requiring an aqueduct to be constructed over the River Irwell at Barton. The stone aqueduct was completed in 1761 and attracted visitors from far and wide. The 41-mile Bridgewater Canal was completed in 1764 and was so successful that 1 year after opening had resulted in halving the price of coal delivered to Manchester. In 1795, the Worsley end of the canal was extended to Lee, with further extensions to the Wigan branch of the Leeds and Liverpool Canal. The Rochdale Canal, completed in 1804, was joined to the Bridgewater Canal at the Castlefield Canal Basin. The Bridgewater Canal and the Castlefield Canal Basin have been well preserved, including the original grocer's warehouse, and are now mainly used by pleasure craft, but the area has also attracted much high-rise housing development. The canal at Worsley today is a popular destination for visitors and canal boat enthusiasts. The banks of the canal also provide popular housing development. The curious yellow appearance of the canal at Worsley owes its colour to iron deposits fed down from the mines. Work is currently underway to provide limited visitor access to the entrance to the mines at Worsley Delph. Under current rules, however, these unique underground canals at Worsley cannot be entered without the accompaniment of mine rescue personnel. The Bridgewater Canal had been vitally important, providing transport for coal, salt and other raw materials, but by the mid-1800s it was incapable of handling the fast-growing needs of Manchester's factories. The Museum of Science and Industry at Castlefield illustrates and celebrates manufacturing in the northwest of England, where almost every town in Lancashire is represented, not only in the manufacture of textile machinery, but also food, mining, chemicals, road and rail vehicles, locomotives, aircraft, and a host of electrical power engineering products. The museum is located on the site of the original Liverpool Road station, one end of the world's first intercity railway linking Manchester to Liverpool. By the late 1800s, the sheer size and volume of goods being moved to and from Manchester to factories demanded a new solution to its transportation, as the existing river navigations were frequently unusable. There was increasing pressure to avoid the Liverpool dock charges and enable large sea-going ships to have direct access to Manchester. After the Act of Parliament was passed, construction started in 1887 and was completed in 1894. 36 miles of canal, including 5 locks from Eastern Locks near Ellesmere Port, provided direct access to the newly constructed Port of Manchester and to Salford Quays. The stone structure at Barton was replaced by an impressive and unique hydraulic steel swing aqueduct. The land immediately adjacent to Manchester Docks was developed into the largest industrial complex in the world at the time, Trafford Park. With numerous other wharfs and docks along its 36 miles length at Runcorn, Widnes, Warrington, Earlham, Carrington and Barton, the Manchester Ship Canal thrived while supporting many diverse manufacturing industries. The younger members of my family were always ready to accompany me to watch the ships on the canal. Living close to Earlham locks, we frequently witnessed the skillful job of getting the large ships through the locks, which was not without risk. Many of the ships using the canal operated close to the limit of 530 feet long and 63.5 feet wide. The container ship Manchester Courage was one such ship, weighing in at 12,000 tons and with only inches clearance on either side of the large lock. On the night of the 16th of March 1969, the Manchester Courage approached Earlham locks heading downstream. Its 2 tugs were released into the small lock. The ship entered the large lock, but after a never-explained error, suddenly powered into and ran over the downstream lock gates. The upstream gates were then closed and badly damaged, trying to stem the huge flow of water that had resulted from the initial collision. The ship remained stuck fast and canal traffic came to a standstill for 6 weeks. After the ship was freed, the job of replacing the lock gates began using a 250-ton crane brought in from Holland.
Now he takes his brush and he waits outside the factory gate to paint his match.
Today the canal is in a largely dormant state. This incident was costly and did not help at a time when canal traffic was in decline. The docks at Salford Quays finally closed in 1984 and was sold along with the canal to Peel Holdings. Salford Quays has since been completely redeveloped and revitalised. The area now provides employment in its new businesses, together with highly sought after housing. Visitor attractions include Media City with its tours, a shopping mall, theatre, cinemas, war museum and direct tram connection to the city centre, showcased in some interesting architecture. There are plans to bring container traffic back to the Manchester Ship Canal in the 2020s under Peel's proposed Atlantic Gateway scheme. As the Peel Group also owns Liverpool Docks, there is a fair chance this may happen. Back at Worsley, we can reflect on the fact that without these 2 canals, the 2 great cities of Salford and Manchester would not have flourished as they did, enabling not just the infrastructure for industrial development, but creating the environment for scientific progress through its universities, institutions and industry. Professor Brian Cox, himself a Mancunian, has quoted, Manchester invented the foundations of the modern world, and that is no exaggeration. As an adopted and slightly biased Mancunian, I think that is fair. But I also like Derek Guyler's Itmar catchphrase from the 40s. If you've never been to Manchester, you've never lived. I think we'll leave it there.
Now he takes his brush and he waits outside the pearly gates to paint his livestock men and livestock